Blarla. Hello peeps, welcome back to LaCorp jail. Welcome back to Prison Architect, where we are finally finished with our jail and the series has come to an end, and today we're going to be taking a detailed tour of the prison. It's not perfect, there's plenty of ways that you can improve it, and as such this prison is now available on the Steam Workshop. Links and details are in the description below should you wish to download this prison and mess about with it yourself and make it better, because my god, it can be made better. But we're going to start our tour at the front of the prison. Makes sense. In this section here, this is very staff orientated section. In fact, the front gate and all of this here is probably some of my favourite areas. Look at this. Look at all the parole officers arriving for the day at LaCorp jail. So many of them. Now there should be a guard patrolling here. See? But he's not on the job. I have them patrolling the gates at each end. This is the in, obviously, and down here is the out. So they should be patrolling, so they can let these trucks in and out of the section. There goes some rubbish, lovely jobblies, but they're not doing it, and we've got all these deliveries, so shall we do it? Here we are, so we've got all the deliveries coming in every morning to the main gate, where we have massive amounts of staff ready and waiting to take the deliveries. And this is a pretty detailed system. These two guys are sort of keeping each other backed up with keeping these doors going. You can see we've got metal detectors and everything going on here. So when trucks arrive, they grab all the goods. Look at them go. Look at them go. They grab all the goods and they come through here. And this is where all the checks start. So as you can see, they get scanned twice as they come through here. And then they get scanned again as they come in to deliveries. Look. So 3 times before that actually set a metal detector off. It's quite something, isn't it? And again, this is normally filled with dogs to sniff the section out. And of course, they're not here. Look, there should be 3 here, and I can't see them at the moment. What's frustrating about the patrols is that you can see it says that there are 3 dogs assigned to be here. This is why they're lit up and not grey. Grey means there's not enough staff, no one's coming to do this. This is saying there's enough staff out there and there's 3 dogs that have been assigned to do it. They're just not here yet. And as a result, this stuff isn't getting sniffed, which is really frustrating. But there we are. There we are. It does get sniffed. See, look, and I also have a sniffer dog here, and it wasn't there when all the deliveries came through. Shock horror. Yeah, the kennel's right here. It's not like they've got to go far. Oh look. Oh no, it's rubbish. It's still rubbish. So we can see the chefs are coming as well to pick up food. Also in the staff area, we've got. We like to have these sorts of rooms, these control rooms, but we've also got, look. Our weapon racks now. I actually don't have any armed guards. I don't think they're a great idea for this game. For anybody who has watched the series religiously, you will remember an episode where we decided to get a couple of armed guards in, and instantly the guards had their guns stolen, and an inmate started shooting everybody, and we had loads of deaths. And I mean, and that just sums it up pretty much. Oh look, see, you can see the dogs are here now, and they're constantly sniffing. Did you see they sniffed? There's some cigarettes on the floor there, and there was constant doom 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 from this section. In fact, if we look in intelligence, auto saving. Jeez. And we'll look at everything that's been discovered in the last 7 days. Look at that. Look at that. This is how effective this is. How much contraband it actually stops just getting into the prison in general. It is quite something. It is quite something. But again, look, the dogs have gone. They've gone. I don't know why. Here we have a staff section area, and this is an infirmary for just staff. And we've got a morgue as well. Here is the visitation for these guys here, which is maximum security. There you go. So there's their visitation. So people visiting can come down here and then filter into here. Visitors filter into here and filter into there. In fact, I believe they are due, aren't they? In fact, we've also got a whole bunch of staff due as well. What else do we have? Power, water, standard. And look, so we've got the warden's office, the accountant's office, the lawyer's office, and they've got, this is deep file storage. This is deep historical records and whatnot. We've got a toilet, and then over here we've got the chief's office and the foreman's office again. Deep files. Another visitation. This is for minimum and medium security. We also have the staff classroom, which is where they get trained up for taser training and stuff like that. Lots of phone taps. Now, so there is a process. You can see here we've got all the mail now being delivered, and to get out the staff section, so visitors who are now due, are they due? Are we about to have loads of visitors? Here they come. Here's all our visitors. So what's nice is that these visitors don't really need to get too mixed up into the prison. They come down here or they go up there, and they don't really need to come in this section. And this is where we really get into the prison. So staff can come in here with the mail. They come straight through this corridor and into our mail sorting area. So I tried to give this a lot of thought when planning it all out, sort of what goes where and who will be traipsing where. So again, you can also see sort of the heightened security. There's like checkpoints. I do like choke points, as I call them, where we do intensive checks on everything that's walking through. Look, we'll see. Look, see here. So look, a bunch of them are going down, and they're off, and a bunch of them are going up. Look, Wilson's still on the floor. He's been there since forever. That's a glitch there, and it'll never leave. Which is a bit of a shame. Oh, look at this, catching stuff all the time, catching stuff. There should be dogs in here. It's really, really annoying. Really, really annoying. See, there's supposed to be dogs here as well. We've got some security offices, and then we've got where we make sure this is reception. This is where all new prisoners go to be strip searched, given a clean uniform and all the rest of it. We've also got a holding cell, which actually, to be fair, rarely gets used. More sort of door control systems and phone taps. They're everywhere. They are absolutely everywhere, but they are necessary. They are necessary. Ooh, look. We have some new staff. That's new staff, not new staff at all. We're going to call upon Grace, because look, we've got some question marks. So we want to find out about the new inmates that are coming in, and as I say, they'll all be taken to here. We'll see that get nice and busy, and we're sort of this is a sort of a mediary place between staff and the shared zone. But what it does is it actually splits off into these two zones. So we've got a zone here, and we've got a zone here, and they're pretty much the same, except this zone has all the medium and minimum security prisoners in it, and this has the maximum. And they all have pretty much, I mean, you can see here, they are laid out pretty much the same, and they have all the same sorts of things. There's a staff room, plenty of power. We have their solitary, parole, cleaning cupboards, their laundry, because they have lots of jobs here. This section, the idea of these cells, was that they would be more luxury rooms. These are the standard rooms that I've made for, oh look, there's some floor missing. They must have had a tunnel at one point. Let's fix that. These are the standard cells that I've designed for maximum security, sorry. And with each cell block has what am I trying to do here? Has got guard patrols, and also at night time sniffer dogs. Oh look, and also sometimes during the day come around here constantly sniffing out for tunnels and stuff like that. You'd be surprised, actually. It catches a lot. It does catch a lot. It's a really good system, that one. Yeah, all the controls for water and power, and that each one has their own CCTV cameras and everything like that. Yeah, so the idea was that we would have some luxury cells. But I have found, really, that if we go... Actually, it's not in there, is it? If we go into here, policies, use cell quality ratings, what tends to end up happening is that inmates don't get assigned to cells because they're not good enough to be in the nice ones, but they're also not bad enough to be in the more unpleasant cells. And as a result, we have loads and loads of staff, prisoners, inside the holding cell. It's ridiculous. There we go. Look, there's ex-law enforcement, so we're going to put a thing on her. Volatile, I like to send to Supermax. Volatile. All volatile instigators, all the ones that are most likely to cause fights and that, all go to Supermax. They're not allowed in sort of the standard jail. Let's let her go. Where is she? There she is. You are free to go, but search her because they often steal things. Look at them sorting the mail. Look at them sorting the mail. So you can. This mail has been through massive amounts of checks, as you know. Here we have the shop section. This is in the shared area, and we also have the library here as well. All jobs going all of the time that we have going on. But yes, as I was saying, we have these two sections, which is the main bulk of the prison, really, and their inmates. And we allow them to come and learn in the kitchens. Look at the state of this place. That's breakfast for you. And all that sort of stuff. The canteens are the same on both sides. I've tried to work out how many prisoners are expected here and how many chefs, ovens and freezers that'll take and that sort of stuff. We've got toilets, showers, phones. It really does help bring down a heat bar if it's getting high. The salt levels, as I like to call them. This is the nursery area for female inmates only, for the females that come in with babies. We don't have this on the maximum security side. You don't get... They're too dangerous, these ladies. They're not allowed to come in with babies. It's only your minimum and medium security ladies that need these sorts of facilities. They also need actual family cells, of which we have a whole bunch of. And actually they get heavily used, and they get playmats and cribs and that. And they are heavily used. In fact, these, which were supposed to be posh luxury cells, are slowly being changed into family cells to help cope with the overflow. Another solitary section. Lots of working going on at the moment. So look, the ladies are out doing laundry, mopping the floor. Actually, yeah, they should be doing laundry. Should we go and have a look? Yeah, look. Doing laundry. Fantastic. They do use the toilets, which is also wonderful. I found putting in toilets all over the place, I even have them in the workshop, really does help cut down on their messing. Doesn't get rid of it, obviously, but it does help. It certainly helps. Yeah, so these are these sorts of sections. You'll notice that with minimum and medium, because they're not in the jail too long, we have given them bunk beds. They have all the same sorts of patrols that we saw earlier, but they also have communal showers rather than their own. I found that maximum security prisoners tend to start shanking each other if you put them in close quarters like this. So I like to give them their own. They've got their own cells. They don't have shared shower facilities because it gets really unpleasant. So they all have their own shower. Yes, indeed they do. Look at you. Get to work. This is not working. Go. Get to work. Outrageous. Right, okay. So, these two sections then, which encompasses 3 different types of inmates, have this shared area. Now, any kind of room that has dangers tends to come into here. So you can see, like laundry, there's no dangers. There is with the cleaning things, but we have guard patrols in there. There should be sniffer dogs. I also recommend, if you decide to download this prison, to actually maybe put timed doors in here to make sure that ladies can only go in at certain hours and stuff like that. And better check what's coming out of here. Because at the moment I don't really check what they're taking from here. But as you can see, there's not that many dangers other than in staff areas, which they're not allowed into. However, all these sorts of things, there are dangers all over the place for contraband, and so they come into the shared area apart from the church. And to get into their shared area, they have to go through one of my checkpoints, which should always be covered by sniffer dogs. And we've got lockdown doors that are always being checked by guards and metal detectors. And again, I think if we go to intelligence, you can see that quite a lot gets picked up at these checkpoints. In fact, not as much as there should be. So again, there's probably room for improvement here. These usually look like this, so something's going on here. This needs to be checked. It needs to be checked over, definitely. And in the shared area, as mentioned, we've got these 3 sections where they can come in and work. I've not designed this too well. They all have to traipse through the library in order to get into all these sections here. If I was going to redesign it, that would be different. That would be different. Choke point's the same on the other side, except what we've done here, you'll see, is that we've made one side for minimum and one side for medium, and it just stops maximum from coming through, because that was starting to happen. The maximum guys were coming into this section, which we don't want. So again, we have to sort of control this in a similar sort of way to the other one. And it works really quite well. So you can see they're all being sniffed. The doors just help slow them down. Oh look, it's slowing them down a bit too well at the moment. Let's get some guards on here. It just helps slow them down so that the dogs have time to sniff them, and these metal detectors have time to check them as well. And we've got the bins. You need bins near metal detectors and that, wherever they're going to be picking up contraband, so they can throw the contraband away. Otherwise, other inmates can just come along and pick them up. So you do want bins about the place. And you can see that they do catch a lot. It could be maybe that maximum security ladies just steal an awful lot more contraband than these guys, and therefore that's why there's more discovered here. So also in the shared area, I've already said that we have a church. We've got some more parole officers. We've got massive classrooms. I'm also testing out a new toilet block here. We've got massive classrooms for training. This is all about sort of rehab and giving them jobs, you know. Psychologist offices. 3 massive workshops for training and work. We do have the common room here as well. Telephones, look, arcade machines, pool tables. This is also where AA meetings are held. And what else do we have here? And their own hospital. So if they become injured, this is where they would come to get better. So this is a big shared area that has choke points, so that they can be checked on for anything that they're pulling in and out of these areas. And it just means that even though there's lots of contraband that could be stolen from a psychologist's office, I've just got a door on it to let them go, because I know that there is... Oh dear. Look, she's attacked she's attacked her parole officer. This is why I have guards patrolling in the parole offices. The only thing that has additional checks on is the workshop, because of the level of danger, the dangerous stuff that comes out of it. And also, I've added these to the library because the amount of scissors that's been stolen is just ridiculous, so we've had to do that. So that's the shared area. What I didn't mention about the canteen either is that, again, there's one of these choke point areas, because they tend to take spoons and forks and stuff out of here, don't they? So again, we've got the metal detectors and sniffer dogs, so that we can... How well are they doing? Let's see. Yeah, they do catch them. You can see like spoons, knives and that. And then the sniffer dogs, you see, because we have dogs patrolling these sorts of areas as well, so they pick up like a lot of the poison. You see, because they steal them from cleaning cupboards all the time, and I don't really check the cleaning cupboards, but you can see here by the amount of poison that's being found that it's certainly worth doing. And again, because this is a training kitchen, we have metal detector points, because again, look at them. What a bloody needle. Because they're so very, very naughty. So very, very naughty. So what is the rest of the prison? Well, this area here is Supermax. And this is, if we go into, we'll go into intelligence informants, you'll notice that the Supermax ladies, that Preacher, because she, again, gets people riled up and agitated. Volatile, they're the same. Instigators. I like to separate these kinds of ladies from pretty much all other labels. Extremely strong, tough, fearless, skilled fighters. Some of them are deadly, right? If you put your instigators and your volatile peeps with the very deadly and strong peeps, you're asking for trouble. What I have found by separating these labels is that we actually have a very peaceful time. So it is absolutely worth doing. And also, these ladies don't have access to a workshop. Supermax don't have access to a workshop, so they can't get their hands on all this sort of stuff. And even though we've got deadly and dangerous maximum security ladies just constantly working in here with heavy machinery and all the drills and stuff that can be found in here, we just don't have any, problems. It works out really well. Look, we also have rehabilitation for drugs and stuff classes in here. All about rehab. Very into the rehab, I am. Very into the rehab. Supermax cells, really tiny. But they are still let out. What's going on here? These are controlled by... I thought somewhere up here, but... Oh yes, somebody's controlling them now. Yeah, so in Supermax section, very similar, just a little bit smaller, but they have their own common room, because there's actually no dangers from a common room. They've got their own laundry, they've got their own parole, and, of course, they're solitary. But I don't really like giving them access to things like cleaning cupboards and workshops where there's lots of contraband to be had. Don't really like doing it, although they do have their own shared area, and in the mornings Supermax can come in here, and this is dedicated not to jobs but for rehabilitation only. So they can have their AA meetings can be held in here, psychologist offices for anger management, the classrooms, the church, and their drug problems and whatnot. But I don't allow them to work in the kitchens, too dangerous, and get hold of knives and things and start killing everybody, and they're all volatile and instigators and stuff like that, so we like to keep them away from the kitchens. And then the other side is our protective custody, who use this shared area in the afternoon. Very dangerous, isn't it? Very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous setup. And to be honest, it's done through timed doors, and I have found that actually this timed door thing isn't really working very well. It used to work really well. I've done this sort of setup before, only not on this scale, and the timed doors worked really well to let certain people in at some times. But now the AI of the inmates, they're not allowed through here in the afternoon, but they just don't seem to quite grasp that, so they still just pile up here when they're actually not allowed in there. The AI just doesn't seem to be able to cope with the fact that this is now a non-access area for them, and so it's stupid. So when I come to do version 2 on this side, we will abolish all of this. I think we'll do it a different way. They'll probably have to have their own classrooms and stuff, because another thing about protective custody is I also use this for people with really severe addiction problems, providing they're not too violent, because they might kill. I will put them in here as well, but so far we've not really had any problems with that, and their setup is exactly the same as the other side. This one on the end here, though, this is very different. This section and these ladies are in permanent solitary lockup. So these are actually solitary cells, and they are never allowed out. They are on permanent solitary, and they are all legendary. They cause an awful lot of problems, so they are kept here at all times and kept a very close eye on, and you can see it's actually quite difficult as well for them to get out of their cell. So that's where they live. There's our legendaries. living up their days. Just like that, really, and they still do manage to kill people occasionally, like cleaners and that go into their rooms. Scum. Right. The last section is this one. Now, the idea is that this is an overflow section. So, you know, sometimes you get that event that says auto-saving. No, it doesn't say that. It says something's happened to another prison and we would like to send a whole bunch of extra inmates to you. Now, they never send anywhere near this amount of inmates. I thought I'd done the maths to get to 1,000 cells. Turns out I've only got to 944. So I crammed in a load of extra ones here to try and get to 1,000, but I've clearly done some maths wrong somewhere because I'm way off. And we didn't get to our 1,000. So version 2 of the prison, that will definitely be 1,000 inmates for sure. But so I just leave this open permanently. But it's supposed to just be used as an overflow when we have too many prisoners, and then they've got their own canteen and yard area. And then up here is death row. This is death row. And they've got their own visitation, which is very rarely used. This is for their clemency meetings, but otherwise, this is where they stay. This is where they stay. And this is the execution room. So, shall we have a quick look here? Logistics. You'll be able to see laundry. Well, I'm not interested in that. You can see it's all look, I think it's summer at the moment, so it's pretty warm all over the place. But everything's heated. And another thing I haven't said is shown is just how well controlled these cell blocks are. So if we go into utilities. Wow, it does start to look really messy, doesn't it? But I am able to turn off the heating just in this cell block by switching off that switch, and you'll notice that the radiators start to flash. See? So that just does the heating in this cell block. This one here, if we switch that off, starts to get rid of cold water. It's similar. The thing is it's bolstered from this one down here. So if you want to get rid of all the cold water, you will need to switch off both of these, and that will turn off the cold water, which is basically your toilets, for the entire cell block. Another thing that you can do, switch on, is turn off the heated water, which turns off your showers. So these are really good controls for punishing cell blocks. If you've got a riot going on inside, you can start trying to control things a little bit more. You can also switch off the power to the whole cell block. There it goes. The whole cell block is now out of power. So I like to try, and I very rarely use it, but there has been the odd riot where it has been used and has been very useful. It can bring a stop to things. It's quite good like that. So yeah, everything's sort of got this like crazy amount of control. What else? All this is blocked off. They can't come out here. You can see here, look, it's the same with this outer wall. Again, this was us trying to stop staff from walking too much to help with their staff needs. But the amount of patrols and dog patrols is just insane. But I'm fairly sure could be a lot better, neater, tidier, and I think that could be improved. I do. Oh look, and then we can also see here as well how I've broken the sections down. Oh my god, look. This should be protective custody. Oh my goodness. There we go, protective custody. So you can see how it's all been sort of broken down. And that most of it is actually staff areas. Pretty much everything, you know. I block off all these back areas, you know, so that only staff get back there. So they've only got like the front areas to hang out in. They can't actually get around the back here and all that sort of stuff. And what else? What else can we show you? I'm not sure. The needs? These go up and down depending what time of day it is, to be honest. The regime of the prison, I try to keep it very similar throughout. I don't like to change it up too much. My policies, We've done all the grants, as far as I'm aware. I think we've even done hidden ones. I'm not entirely sure. Millions of programs. I spend an awful lot of money in programs because I just love my rehabilitation and whatnot. The prison makes plenty of money. We could sell it, look, for $4.5 million if we wanted to. I own 100% of the prison, but we won't be doing that. We won't be doing that. No, we won't be doing that. So there it is. There is LaCorp Jail, now available on your local Steam Workshop. Link in the description below. I would, in fact, if you've made a prison that you're very pleased about, let me know as well, because it's possible that at some point in the future, if I come across lots of PEEP's prisons that I really like for one reason or another, then I might do a series where we just try to escape from another PEEP's prison each episode. That might be fun. Yes, so, well, there it is. LaCorp Jail. It's been a great series. It's been a long series. And we will be back with gangs and escape mode, and hopefully some of your prisons. Bye! Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, please hit that like button. As long as you are here, why not check out one of my delectable videos available? Feel free to come stalk me on social media and be sure to share this video with friends so even more may watch my schizwa. See you next time, peeps!